the Matt Gaetz proportion, so
abortion.
We saw some parts of it, but let's watch.
All retirees, except maybe one. Though he has announced his upcoming retirement, though he's real rich, though he grifted off of our taxpayers and off of our government and off of lies for years.
Why is he calling out Donald Trump?
We will not take Dr. Anthony Fauci.
Oh.
And that's saying something, because O.J. Simpson lives in Florida. I think O.J. killed fewer people. I think that Dr. Fauci should get to go and retire where he can be around all of his work. And that's why I'm willing to personally sponsor a one-way ticket right to Wuhan, China. We welcome.
Fucking got him, dude.
Abortion, pro-murder. Have you watched these pro-abortion, pro-murder rallies? The people are just disgusting. Like, why is it that the women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb. These people are odious on the inside and out. They're like,
I love when, dude, this is a funny argument because, like, both sides have their uggos, you know what I mean? Like, Matt Gaetz is not reading the room, but then again, it's like conservatives love fat shaming while they're simultaneously being fat. So it's basically that, you know what I mean? It's the same shit.
Like 5'2", 350 pounds, and they're like, give me my abortions or I'll get up and march. And
also, they're all unattractive to Matt Gaetz because they're not Nestor and they're not underage. So it doesn't even matter to him anyway. Matt Gaetz and Sverige have a lot of things in common. So.
And protest. And I'm thinking, March? You look like you got ankles weaker than the legal reasoning behind Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, I said this yesterday as well, but yeah. His argument is you'll never give birth, so who cares, as a cis man. So that's also additionally weird. I mean, I agree, but also that argument literally puts you in a weird predicament as well.
A few of them need to get up and march. They need to get up and march for like an hour a day, swing those arms, get the blood pumping, maybe mix in a salad. Have you watched?
Okay, dude, he's got some good ass fucking takes, bro.
I would far rather go to war over the monarch butterfly than deciphering what guy in a tracksuit gets to run Crimea oceans away. The case for America's interest is far more clear with the butterfly. I would far rather speak to you directly, Hunter. I asked the FBI where.
Wait, did you ask them while they were investigating you? Bro, how are you going to make FBI jokes, brother? You literally have an ongoing investigation.
Your laptop was, and it seems they've misplaced it. How weird. But it just turns out that I have a copy right here. I entered it in the congressional record. We have your texts. We have your emails. We have the payments from Burisma. We have your travel records. We even know the Chinese communists who own you. You and the big guy have never lived one day under real Republican oversight. So these...
Wait, that's so funny. Like, dude, Matt Gaetz demanding the FBI arrest Hunter Biden is so funny, dude. Like, that's awesome. He's still investigated, right? I thought he was being investigated still. What has happened to the Matt Gaetz investigation? Yeah, no, it's still going on. No, it's still going on. Dude, this is the greatest projection I've ever seen. The Dr. Friend won't be sentenced until December. We won't see much till then. Matt Gaetz demanded the FBI arrest Hunter Biden is hilarious since he's currently under investigation by the FBI for sex trafficking minors. I mean, it's not even a joke. Like, that's what's going on. For allegedly sex trafficking a minor. Didn't his friend get indicted for underage sex trafficking? And wasn't he named as an unindicted co-conspirator? I think his name is Joel Greenberg or something. Yes. Oh, this was another issue, but Riot and Kid Rock fans trash North Dakota State Fairgrounds. Wild photos show. Yeah, and he's going to be sentenced in August. Sentencing for Gaetz' wingman delayed until August. The former tax collector pleaded guilty to 6 felony charges. And it originally started off with like, oh, there's a Mike Lindell clip. Let's go. It originally was just like basic shit, basic corruption charges. And then it like ballooned into fucking. He was the elected tax collector of Seminole County, Florida, Greenberg. And the feds thought that he had only committed 2 crimes, including stalking against a political opponent who was also a teacher. And that would have been, that's like basic Florida politics, right? But then the Justice Department unveiled a torrent of other potential crimes, not only involving Greenberg himself, but also implicating more prominent Florida Republicans, including employees of his office, a former Florida state representative turned lobbyist, aides to and fundraisers for Ron DeSantis, and young MAGA-loving Congressman Matt motherfucking Gaetz, who later became a leading congressional proponent of, whatever, the fucking MSNBC writing it in the most lib way possible. The big lie. The most serious of Greenberg's alleged crimes was alleged sex trafficking of an under 18-year-old girl. He was also accused of using surrendered driver's licenses, which he obtained through his office, to create fake IDs, which he used to facilitate his efforts to participate in commercial sex acts. By spring 2021, public reporting revealed Justice Department is also investigating whether Gaetz had a sexual relationship with the same underage girl and whether Gaetz and Greenberg had overlapping and illegal sexual contacts with women recruited online for sex and who received cash payments and/or were paid to travel with Gaetz and others, including on a 2018 Bahamas trip. Gaetz' iPhone was seized by the authorities. And the DOJ's investigation grew to encompass whether Gaetz took gifts, including travel and paid escorts, in exchange for becoming a medical marijuana champion. Part of the reason why we know about this is because Matt Gaetz was so fucking stupid that he literally wrote, in Venmo, exactly what he was paying for. The FBI's doing cancel culture on him. This is so fucked up. Yeah. If you recall, last year when this information came out, Matt Gaetz did an impromptu appearance on the Tucker Carlson show and almost implicated Tucker Carlson as well, to which Tucker Carlson was like greatly frazzled and replied in the worst way possible.
So a couple of obvious questions that...
Here.
And I believe we are in an era of our politics now, Tucker, where people are smeared to try to take them out of the conversation. I'm not the only person on screen right now who's been falsely accused of a terrible sex act. You were accused of something that you did not do, and so you know what this feels like. You know the pain it can bring to your family, and you know how it just puts people on defense when you're accused of something so salacious and awful. But it did not happen. It is not true. And the fact that it is the basis of this attempt to extort my family tells a lot. And if the FBI and Department of Justice will release the tapes that they are in possession of, the American people will see what is really going on.
You just referred to a mentally ill viewer who accused me of a sex crime 20 years ago. And of course, it was not true. I'd never met the person. But I do agree with you that being accused falsely is one of the worst things that can happen.
He's like, bro, why'd you bring that shit up? The fuck is wrong with you?
You do see it a lot. Let's go back to the investigation.
I said, we? You speak in French right now. Fuck you mean we, motherfucker? It doesn't end there. Then he continues. He continues to say, well, you know, we went to dinner with this wonderful individual together. He's like, no.
You say that it was or is underway. There was an investigation. What is the basis of that investigation? What is the allegation? That's really not very clear from these news stories.
Yeah, again, I only know what I've read in the New York Times. I can say that actually you and I went to dinner about 2 years ago. Your wife was there, and I brought a friend of mine. You'll remember her. And she was actually threatened by the FBI, told that if she wouldn't cop to the fact that somehow I was involved in some pay-for-play
I love this, dude. This was so awesome.
Scheme, that she could face trouble.
Like, it's not even just Tucker, but his wife, too. He's just, like, literally adding them into the investigation.
And so I do believe that there are people at the Department of Justice who are trying to smear me, providing for flights and hotel rooms for people that you're dating who are of legal age is not a crime. And I'm just troubled that the lack of any sort of legitimate investigation into me would then convert into this extortion attempt.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of or the context at all, honestly. But
Dude, it's so good. He's like, if I go down, you're coming with me, motherfucker. Okay? Everybody's coming with me. I'm bringing this ship down, baby.
I would like to know who. So they're saying there is a 17-year-old girl who you had a relationship with. Is that true? And who are they? Who is this girl? What are they talking about at the New York Times?
The person doesn't exist. I have not had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false.
He's like, I did it with a 16-year-old.
As I read it in the New York Times, is that I've traveled with some 17-year-old in some relationship. That is false, and records will bear that out to be false.
How long has this investigation been going on? Do you know?
I don't know.
When were you first informed of it?
Bro, Tucker is frazzled.